I want to talk about Materialist. If you haven't seen the movie, you need to go and see it. It's still on Netflix. It's a very interesting watch. I watched it from a matchmaker's point of view and I loved it. There are 3 points I wanted to talk about that the movie kind of highlighted that I liked. The first one was the client checklist. You know, there was a part where she kept talking to her clients across the table, and then they'll tell her what, and then they'll tell her what they want. So they're like, I want someone tall, I want someone this, I want someone that. You know, everyone has a checklist. It's understandable, but you could see how some checklists were very, you know, and you could see how some checklists were not really making sense. Like when the guy was like, I want someone in her 30s, and she's like, oh well, she's 39. The guy's like, no, 39 is 40. You know. So basically, people think that coming to a matchmaker is like build a bear workshop. Like I want this, the checklist, and then fit all this into a human being for me. If finding a match was about assembling a bunch of parts together, like build a bear workshop, then IKEA would be the best matchmaker. But matchmaking is not that. It's still connecting with other human beings that have flaws, that are not perfect. Finding everything on your checklist in one person. Anyway, so I wanted to say that to stop focusing on your checklist and kind of just look towards the character of a person than trying to see if they work for you on paper. And then my second favorite part in the movie was when he talked about his knee surgery. It was more like an identity reconstruction thing because he said this phrase. He said his body is like an apartment, and then you make some changes to it to increase the value. And I liked that because I feel like everyone has something to work on, try and be a better version of yourself. I'm tired of clients saying, the person that's going to love me is going to love me for who I am. And I think people don't understand what that means. So they think, you know what, if I have bad qualities, I don't need to change it. The person is going to love my bad qualities. If you're rude to staff and people are like, you're rude to waiters, you're rude to staff, you need to not do that. People have told you this all your life. And you're like, no, that's who I am. Some people bring horoscope into it. Oh, as a Scorpio, no, no, you can learn to not be rude. So I think working on yourself is like an identity reconstruction. It's good. It just makes you a better version of yourself. So no more the person I just that's met from is going to love me with all my flaws. You can work on your flaws. We all should work on being better versions of ourselves. You don't want to offer somebody just you want the person you're with to also have worked on themselves. And the third part of this movie that I really, really loved is the fact that at the end, spoilers if you haven't watched it, at the end they do the whole choice thing. They kind of open the whole idea of compromise because some people, if you ask them today, would you rather pick a partner that's rich, but really, really bad looking, or really good looking, but really, really financially unstable? And then people will tell you, no, I don't want it. I want both all in one. I like the fact that it forces you to know that life is not just everything I want. I'll just get everything I want. I mean, sometimes you have to compromise. And I like the fact that it also forces you to look at yourself like, what do you need versus what do you want? Because with her, with the first guy, she's like, do I want this or do I need this? And then with the other guy, she's like, do I want this or do I need this? So that question like helped her get to her decision to realize what she needed. Because obviously choosing one person over the other person, there's an opportunity cost there. Choosing the guy that's financially stable, she kind of has the opportunity cost of the emotional stability she could have gotten from the other guy, the emotional connection she could have gotten from him. And then she chooses the guy that she has emotional connection with. The opportunity cost there is the financial stability she's left behind. So it's almost like pick one. What do you want? And I like that it forces that thought because it makes you think like, if I have these two options, what do I do? I also like this part of the movie where they kind of compare the choice of a relationship to a business decision. So they're like, this is a good business decision. There's good ROI and everything, but there's no love on the table. And then with the other guy, it's a bad business decision, but there was the emotional connection part. So she had to choose what was best for her. So these are the things that stood out to me in the movie Materialist as a matchmaker. Number one was the never-ending checklist. Number two was the resistance to self-work. People don't want to work on themselves. Number three was the fact that sometimes you have to compromise, and then life might have to force you to be in a position where you have to choose what you want versus what you need. You should go watch that movie. I loved it. I'm going to watch it a second time.